Hello, young or old here, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm talking about retirement riding again. Now please don't groan. I never thought I'd have more to say on the subject, but reading comments on the previous ones has just made me think of more things to add. Stay tuned and watch the intro. I consider myself lucky where I live because we've got a couple of good, midweek daytime bike meets for us to gather at, Hall Park and Huggies. Now I'm sure we're not the only area to have this type of meet, so have a look around and see what you can find out. If there are none, why not start one? You can advertise on whatever social media platform you choose, or just a few lines in the local rag. If you wanted a venue, I'm sure there's a lot of pubs or cafes with a decent car park, and as you're not going to be booking at sort of peak times, they'll probably welcome the revenue. Yes, I admit it's nice to go out and ride alone sometimes, but let's not forget, we're not young men anymore, so let's just be safe about this. If you are riding alone, make sure someone knows where you're going and roughly what time you plan to return. Always carry your mobile phone, so at least you can call for assistance. Have breakdown cover. If you really want to be pushing a motorbike, no matter how small the distance. If you ride with a mate, at least you've got somebody with you, and they will have someone with them. Safety in numbers. If you're on any sort of medication, make sure you've got all the details of what you're taking somewhere safe, like in your wallet, so it can easily be found in case of emergency. Always make sure you know where your location is, because there's no point phoning emergency or breakdown services if you ain't got a clue where you are. While on the subject of mobile phones, I see many attached now to the bike handlebars, which is great for using Google Maps. But consider this. In the case of an accident and you end up in a ditch with no one around, you may end up not being near your bike. The phone could be smashed or flung off somewhere, or you might not be able to move to reach it. Would it not be safer to keep it in your inside jacket pocket so you can reach it easily and call for help if needed? Just a thought. It's ironic, but when you retire, you've got more free time to go out and indulge in your hobbies and pastimes. But for most, you've got less cash to spend on them. Now, one area where money can be saved is servicing and maintenance costs. Now, these can add up to quite a lot of money, but the general opinion I was given talking to a main dealer, yes, if all the stamps are in the book, you'll get a better price for the bike when you sell it. However, he also said that, but it can cost so much for that full service record. The extra cash you get for the bike doesn't always cover the extra servicing costs. Now, I've used the same mechanic for years. He was an apprentice where, when I used to go, but now he's got his own garage and workshop. But why not have a get together at a friend's house? Choose the one with the best garage and a wife who's happy brewing constantly. This way you can all give the bike, a good clean, do minor maintenance tasks. It saves money, and it's also a good excuse to get together with your mates. A win-win in my book. I do have mine serviced when it's needed, but regular oil changes are very important. Now, my mate Mickey's got all the kit, so last time I went round there so we could do it together. Well, that was the plan, but he tends to do it while I have a brew and a ciggy. I do watch and learn, so I can do it myself. Insurance is needed, but you have to shop around. I always get the company to switch off the automatic renewal. I often wait until the last day and use one of the price comparison sites. Last year I saved quite a bit by doing this, and I took the cheaper option. The shocking thing was that the cheaper quote was with the company I was already with. The same applied to my AA car and bike breakdown cover. They wanted a price at automatic renew. I cancelled that and I let it expire for a couple of days when I wasn't out and about using the bike or the car. I then phoned them up as a new customer and I got it for £25 cheaper. So loyalty means nothing to these companies. When on a ride out, I rarely take sandwiches for two reasons. One is, to me it's part of the day's enjoyment to stop off somewhere, have a bit of breakfast or lunch, or just an afternoon coffee and a piece of cake. Reason two is, if it's a warm day, a sandwich with runny melted butter, some warm cheese and a bit of limpy lettuce don't tick the boxes for me. However, a small cool bag in the top box is useful if you need to take food. If I know we'll be having a lay-by stop to stretch our legs, etc., depending on the weather, I might have a hot or cold drink in the top box just for quick refreshment. Having said that, none of our group would tend to stop at one of these expensive, trendy, branded coffee shops either. As my mate says, he's a tea drinker, and he says if you buy tea bags in bulk, they're less than a penny each. A splash of milk and the rest is water from the tap. How can they charge £3? Then again, we're spoiled, as we get a good bacon or sausage cob with tomato and a brew for £3.50 to £4 at Huggies. So, by pre-planning your tour or your trip out, you can make it as cheap or as expensive as you want to. If we're on a tour, we tend to stay in and cook some nights, and then some nights we go out for food. Either a pub meal or fish and chips sitting on the harbour wall. Now that is still the best in my book. One of the biggest expenses is fuel, and we can't really do much about that. But it makes me smile when, non-riders ask, do I have a bike because it's cheaper than a car? No. I tell them the price of tyres, and how I actually get better miles per gallon from a car than I do my bike. And they're usually shocked. Just remember that us older, more mature riders are not the minority now. My first video on riding through retirement got me many more views than I normally get. The largest age group we get training to get the bike licence, they're over 40. There's a lot of us out there, so there's no reason why you can't find new riding mates and broaden one's circle, if that's what you want to do. Now, when my mates and I were young, we didn't see danger like we do now. Most of my mates, we just used to throw the bikes into a bend, knowing we got a good chance of getting round it. As mature riders, we want to know we're going to get round that bend safely, and just a chance isn't good enough odds. Maybe that's why we're cheaper to insure now, as with age comes experience and wisdom. Now, also, we're more fragile now, and we know that it's going to hurt more, and it's going to take us longer to recover. I, for one, don't want to miss a year's riding due to recovering, as our riding years are decreasing enough already. The fact that we are retired gives us the advantage of we don't have to wait until the weekend to get out for a ride. I remember working all week in nice sunny weather, just counting the days down to getting the bike out at the weekend, only for it to be chucking down a rain. Now we can have a ride on any day we choose to get the better choice of weather. Also, tourists and interesting spots are not as crowded as they will be at the weekend. Well, I hope you enjoyed this content. If you do, please do the ticks to like and subscribe. And as always, take care, ride safe, and bye for now.